trapping for the color money. Make it happen for the color.
What's up, guys? It's J Pink, and I am finally back with another video. This video is going to be my foundation routine. Without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so I always start off with a clean and moisturized face. Next, I'm going to go in with my MAC Strobe Cream, and this is in the color Gold Light. Okay, so now is when I just go ahead and go in with foundation. This is the Dewy Smooth by Maybelline, the Fit Me foundation, and I finally got the right shade. It's 355 in Coconut. And I'm going to mix this with my Cover FX Custom Enhancer Drops, and the shade that I have is in Candlelight. So I just mix these two together. So that's about what my concoction looks like. And now I'm going to go in with my MAC 170 foundation brush. I'm really just going to go in and just kind of pat the foundation in first. And this helps me this gives me a little extra coverage. Just because this foundation doesn't have a whole lot of coverage. But once I have everything blended out with the brush, I go in with my beauty blender, a damp beauty blender. But before that, I'll spray myself sometimes, depending on how dry I feel, with a little bit more Fix Plus. And then I take my damp beauty blender while the Fix Plus is still wet and just go back over and reinforce that blending job I did. So now I'm going to go in with my concealer, and I start off with the LA Girl Pro Concealer, and this is in the shade Fawn. I like this concealer because it has like a yellow undertone to it, and I think it's very flattering to my undertone. Next concealer I like to go in with is the Bobbi Brown Intense Serum Skin Concealer, and I like this one. This is in the shade Golden 12. I like this one because it gives me a little bit of color correction without having to do the color correcting step, because I actually don't like color correcting on myself. So I just put some of that underneath. Sometimes I'll do a little bit in the middle of my forehead, but really I just keep it under my eyes. And then lastly is my all-time favorite concealer. It's the Born This Way concealer, but like I told you guys, I've gotten a little darker. This concealer is a bit much for me. This is in the shade Tan. You take the smallest amount of this, like right there, and then a little bit there, right in the bridge of my nose, because I am going to contour it, right at the tip of my nose, and then a little bit underneath the chin. But that's really it. I'm going to let the concealer sit for a second, and then I blend it out. Okay, so at this point, the foundation has been sitting for quite some time. So what I'm going to do first is take the MAC 170 brush I use to pat out my foundation. And I'm just going to blend out my chin first. And I'm going to take it and I'm going to blend the edges of everything else. Now I'm going to go in with my damp beauty blender, and I'm going to first reinforce the blending of everything else, then I'm going to go in under my eyes. With this same damp beauty blender, I'm going to take my Patrick Star brightening powder from the MAC collection, or from the Patrick Star MAC collection. I'm going to set this underneath my eyes. I'm going to go in with my powder foundation, and I use the Bare Minerals Bare Pro in the shade Hazelnut 25. And I am going to take a big fluffy brush, and I'm going to start by patting this into the skin, and I start with my smile lines. This is a Sephora brush. I do believe this brush has been discontinued. However, it is the Pro Precision Blush Brush, number 73. But I do think they came out with a better version of this brush. And I'm going to take some of that powder foundation and I'm going to tap out the excess. I'm going to use this to sweep away the powder under my eye. I use two different products to contour. I use Black Radiance Pressed Powder Foundation in the shade Ebony. And then I also use MAC's Powder Blush in Film Noir. And I'm just going to load it I'm going to load that Ebony shade onto the fan brush, just like so. And I'm just going to basically just kind of get it on there. I contour underneath my lip just so my bottom lip looks a little larger. And then to blend out my nose contour, I take the same powder brush I used to put powder on my face. And I'm not going to put any extra product on it. I'm just going to like swirl it across my nose like so. Now I'm going to take my Luxie 522, and this is a tapered highlighting brush. I like to use this to really get in the cuts of my cheeks so that you can really see that cut. So I'm going to start by going into the Ebony shade by Black Radiance, and then I'm going to mix it with the Film Noir. This is just so that it's not as harsh on me because the Film Noir is really dark. And so I use my Tragus basically to, I do believe this is the Tragus. Is that the Tragus? I use this thing if it's not the Tragus, and I use this as my guideline, and I start by patting. Just because we already laid that base down, we're just going to pat. And I'll take it up to my little curly here. And then just pat. And we're going to keep this little cup shape going right here. And then whatever's left, I'm going to pat it up into my temples. I'm going to swirl it into my forehead. So at this point, I'll take some more Fix Plus and spray myself one more time. I'll take my damp beauty blender and just basically pat over my face one more time. And now we go in with my personal favorite part, which is highlighter. And I'm going to take two highlighters. I'm going to take the Le Peach and the Le Bronze, and I'm going to use them together. So I am going to just take whatever's in the top because you don't need a whole lot of this. That's what I have in my brow and my inner corner. I'm going to dip it in Le Peach first, then Le Bronze, then Le Peach. Sounds extra, but it works. So I'm going to go ahead and go off camera, finish my brows, and then finish my eyes, and I'll be back. So this is the finished foundation look, guys. This is my foundation routine for full coverage. If you would like to see the eyeshadow look as well as the lip combination, I'll have all the information down below. And if you actually enjoyed this video, go ahead and like this video, as well as go ahead and subscribe if you actually enjoyed the content or you want to see more from me. And hit that notification bell and join Team Pink. That's all for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.